Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Dana! So today I've got another little discussion video specifically discussing whether or not I will ever purchase the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic Mini, which is a new system that was recently released. And by new, I really mean it's sort of a re-release of a select number of games from the Super Nintendo Entertainment System onto a little hard disk that is then sort of converted to look like a miniature Super Nintendo with a replica Super Nintendo controller. Nintendo did something very similar to this about a year ago with the NES Mini, and that sold out really fast and Nintendo supposedly canceled it, but I've read reports that they're bringing it back. So I actually managed to get my hands on an NES Mini and really like it, but do I plan to get a Super Nintendo Entertainment System Mini at all? At this point, I'd say I don't know. From all the reports I've read, they tend to be sold out and very hard to find, and I myself am not sure that I'm really going to want to spend the time or energy, and especially not the money, considering how many scalpers there are out there in the world, in order to purchase one as soon as possible. If there's a greater degree of supply and there's more in the stores, I could definitely see myself getting one. But at this rate, within the next few months, I don't see that happening anytime soon. I do hope that Nintendo creates more supply and keeps the system going for more than a couple of months before discontinuing it. I think that would be better both from a business point of view and just be better for people that would want to get it. Now, there is one new game that was never before released for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Mini, and that is Star Fox 2, never released. Star Fox 2 being a new game is the biggest incentive for me to get it. On the other hand, it is just one game, and all the other games I could buy on cartridges. I already own a Super Nintendo. I love Super Nintendo. I own some of the best games on the console, and I don't really know that I really need one. Sure, Star Fox 2 is cool, but is it really good enough to warrant going out and buying an all-new system to play games that I already have that still work pretty well? That I'm not so sure about. But my next point is, should you get it? This, it's a little bit harder because it's all in the eye of the beholder. If you're somebody that can manage to easily get one for the market price, who's never played any of these games before and wants to play some of the best games of all time, really, I would definitely recommend picking one up if you have the means to do so. There are also other options out there. You can buy a secondhand Super Nintendo with some of these fantastic games on the system, like Donkey Kong Country and Mario World, Star Fox, Super Metroid, Chrono Trigger, The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and things like that. But if that new incentive, if you're interested enough in a game like Star Fox 2, as well as just having all these other games pre-downloaded and not having to change the cartridge, and you have the means, the money, the what have you to get one, it might be worth it for you. Those who have played it say they really like it, and I do not doubt that for them it was definitely worth the money. Whether or not it's worth it to you, I definitely leave that a question for you to answer for yourself. If this seems like a good, viable option for you, then I would say go ahead and see if you can't track one down. As for myself, I don't know if I'm going to get one or not. I'm definitely not going to get one right at this point. If they're still around in a year and, demand stops a little bit and is a little bit more on store shelves, then I could definitely see myself going and picking one up. But that is definitely something that has yet to be seen. But for you, I would definitely, if you've never played some of these Super Nintendo games, I really do think that you owe it to yourself to play them in some form or another. And if it's through this new Super Nintendo Mini, I think that would be a great option. But if not, just remember, there are secondhand stores that sell Super Nintendo Entertainment Systems. There, you can also definitely get one through Amazon.com, perhaps eBay. I know emulators are also a big thing, and if you already know how to use emulators and you already have them, then that's also a very valid option. So these are all choices that you have, and I'm gonna just end it there. I wanted to talk a little bit about this because it is big in the gaming news, and I feel like retro gaming is sort of a big thing now. I mean, it's been a big thing really for the last 10 years, and I love retro gaming, so I'm happy to see it come back. But I also want to emphasize the point that there are multiple ways to experience retro games. And all that to say, thank you for watching my latest video discussion, and I'll see you next time.